Alright, Shalom. This is Gamali Allah out of Great Millstone, Atlanta. Want to give all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM Rakakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim that are pushing out this truth and sincerity. Alright, now this is a quick lesson. Alright, and this is going to be centered around the victim mentality. Alright, now I'm going to pull up an article on what exactly this is, and this is something that we've all succumbed to at some point. Okay, we've all played the victim, and it's important for us to own up and to be a victor. Okay, a victor is basically another word for a winner. Okay, we got to put off that loser mentality. I'm a loser. I think Elder Ariella did a lesson on that recently. All right, but this is very important for our walk. Anyway, this is an article. This is actually a Christian article, Christian-based article. All right, and we find us here at Great Millstone, we're able to extract the truth from anything. Whenever you look online and you look on and you look up the Bible, that's what you're gonna get is mainly Christian-based articles. All right, so of course, we don't agree with a lot of the doctrines that Christians hold, but a lot of the things that they go into are on point. All right, and that's just the truth. So anyway, this is an article off of Fountain of Life. All right, it says you can overcome. It says the biblical way to overcome victim mentality and be a victor. You can overcome victim mentality through a relationship with Christ and the Word of the Most High. And of course, His name is not Christ. All right, His name is YAHAWASHI. I'll skip down and get to the point. This is the victim mentality defined. All right. Let's see. I wanted to give you a definition, and then I'm going to give you some biblical examples of those who did not have a victim mentality. Let's see. Let's get to the point. Okay, there are people who have genuinely been victimized by others. Matter of fact, it's like I'm trying to find the point. All right, a victim mentality, here's the point. A victim mentality is when you blame everyone for what happens in your world. A victim mentality is when a person thinks that the future only holds bad things for them. All right. And here are some examples of a parent with a victim mentality's child gets in a fight at school. It wasn't their fault. It's because the teacher wasn't watching the room and the other kid had it coming and someone else told him to hit him. So their child didn't do anything wrong or doesn't need to take any responsibility. He was just a victim. All right. Now, here's a good point. Satan wants every believer to think that others cause bad things in their life. Ultimately, he wants you bitter. He wants you unforgiving. He wants you constantly upset by things. He wants you to feel like you can't do anything about it, that your life will never change. You will always be a victim. You will never get a fair shake. All right, yeah, so, this is a heavy topic because, like I said, this is something that everyone has fell short of at some point. Everyone has played the victim. Instead of owning up, because it's easier. It's easier to be the victim. It's easier to just play, the role. It's not my fault, because what it is you don't have to take any accountability. Okay, it's easier to put the blame on others, and it makes you feel better. It makes you feel better about yourself. Because I didn't mess up. you don't want to put the blame on yourself, you know, because you're perfect. You're the victim, you know. So you haven't made any mistake. Everyone else is. There's this meme that's floating around on social media, and it's a picture of this guy, Future, looking in the mirror, and he's like, it's like a little caption that says, "I'm not toxic. They're toxic." So this is the mentality of someone that's a victim. You're not the toxic one. Everyone else around you is toxic. Everyone else around you is messed up. Okay, no, 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 it's not you. All right. So anyway, I don't want to go on too long. This is we'll get some precepts because I want to show some examples of I want to show some examples of men of the Lord who could have played victim, but they had integrity, they had strength to overcome their situation. Now, let's start with Proverbs 1 and 5. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. All right. So a wise man will hear and increase learning. All right. So an example of someone who's a victor, someone who wants to improve, okay, they're going to hear, okay, they're going to listen. You know, a good quality of someone who wants to learn and do better is someone that's a good listener. Someone that's a victim plays the victim. You notice they don't want to hear you. Okay, they don't want to listen. You know, they just want to talk. They want to tell you about their problems. You know, they want to basically always put the blame on everything, anything and everything. You know, and that's not a good mentality to have. All right, that's a very, very loser mentality. Poor. It's a poor mentality to have. Now, I'll keep going. Verse 6, to understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. Okay, well that was pretty much the point. All right, let's go to the next one. Now this is Paul speaking. This is Philippians 1 and 13. Let me see. Yeah, we'll start 13. So that my bonds and Hamashiach are manifest in all the palace and all the other places. It says, I'll start at 12. Slacker. All right. It says, but I would ye should understand, brethren, that the things which happened unto me have fallen out rather unto the furtherance of the gospel. All right, because we know that Paul went through so many things, man. Paul, I mean, he caught hell. All right, there were many things that Paul went through that he could have complained about. He could have, he could have said, man, damn, I don't went through this, I don't went through that. Man, Paul would have had so much to complain about, but guess what? He didn't complain. This is an example of someone who has a victor mindset. It's not about your circumstances, about being solution based. Being, how do how am I gonna get out of this situation? All right, and that's a conquering mindset. That's a great mindset to have. Okay, is to be solution minded, not focused on the problem. Verse 13, so that my bonds and Hamashiach are manifest in all the palace and in all other places. And many of the brethren in the Lord, waxing confident by my bonds, are much more bold to speak the word without fear. All right, so Paul is a great example of someone who went through the bonds. Now let's get this word bonds. It says, let's see, chains, a band, shackle of a prisoner. All right. So all these things that Paul went through, all right, they're made an example unto other believers to push, okay, to get through it. All right. Now let's I've got another article, and it says 8 warning signs of not taking responsibility and wearing the victim label. All right. And if you find yourself being a victim, the first step is to point it out and to correct it, okay? But, the hard part, the toughest part about being a victim is you're never wrong in your own eyes. All right? So, that's a heavy step for a victim, for someone that's a victim, always the victim. The toughest part is for them to own up and to recognize that they're being the victim. All right? Because they're the victim. Nothing's wrong with them. They're perfect. This is number one. You never take responsibility for your actions or attitudes. 2, self-pity. You feel sorry for yourself often. 3, you believe you have no control over your life and stuff just always happens to you that is out of your control. Everyone is against you. Self-focused. Always seeking attention and validation of others. You always have to be right. Nothing is ever your fault. All right. So these are signs that you are wearing the victim label. Okay. And like I said, we have to break out of this mindset. Jake abuses this whole victim mindset because they get it from Esau. Jake loves to play the victim. All right. Especially of course we are oppressed, but Jake will take it too far. Jake uses every opportunity to point out racism. I didn't get this because I'm black, or whatever it is. There's so many examples of Jake playing the victim. All right, but ultimately, there are things that are within your control, okay? There are many things that are within your control, okay? This is 1 Peter 2:20. For what glory is it if when you be buffeted for your faults, you shall take it patiently? But if when ye do well and suffer for it, you take it patiently, this is acceptable with the Most High. Okay, so we have to take our sufferings patiently. Okay, all of our faults, all of these things, we have to take it. YAHAWASHI said to bear your burden. Okay, he also said that my affliction is light. It says or no, it's like my burden is light. Okay. Okay, this is verse 21. It says, for even hereunto were ye called, because Hamashiach also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps. Okay, so YAHAWASHI is the greatest example of someone who went through the most. We didn't have to go through what YAHAWASHI went through. None of us went through what Paul went through. None of us went through what a lot of the men of the Lord in the ancient times went through. So we ultimately have nothing to complain about. All right. Romans 8:18 it says, for the sufferings of this time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed in us. So ultimately, we ain't going through nothing, and the scriptures say, Yahushai, the Lord will not put anything on you more than you can bear. Okay. So you can handle it. All right. You just got to break out of that victim mindset and become a winner. That whole loser fucking mindset. Verse 22, who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. Yeah, because how many of us, if we were put in Yahushai's shoes, man, we would be messed up, man. We'd be playing the victim. You know, we be complaining instead of trying to drink, instead of drinking the cup. Verse 23, who, when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judgeth righteously. Okay, when he suffered, he threatened not. Okay, he took it. Okay, we have to take it. Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, being dead to sins, should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye were healed. Okay, so that was the point on that. All right, we have YAHAWASHI as an example of someone who could have been the victim, but he wasn't. Okay. All right. Now this is Hebrews 4:12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of the soul and spirit, and the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Okay, so now these scriptures will cut you. Okay, these scriptures will, they'll be on point. There's the worst. One of the worst feelings is for you to hear about yourself, but it's necessary. Okay, the scriptures say offenses must come. Okay, so it's necessary for you to hear about yourself. Now it's gonna hurt. It's gonna sting. Because like, damn, that's how I am. But the first step is recognition. All right, so when you get called out, when you get cut through the spirit, okay, don't play the victim. Okay, own up to it. Own up to your fault, and win. Okay, be a overcomer. Have an overcoming mindset. All right. James 1:12. Now this is going into having an overcoming mindset. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Now this is a winner mindset. This is the victor. Okay, enduring temptation. Okay, when you're tried. Oh, I'll keep going. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Yeah, so you can't say that, oh, I'm tempted of the Most High. Okay, because the Lord, YAHAWASHI, or Salakia, it basically, you are responsible. Okay, you can't put the blame on the Most High. Okay, you can only put the blame on yourself. Okay, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Okay, so it's you. Okay, look at the man in the mirror. Okay, every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust. Okay, so you have no one to blame. Okay, take accountability, take ownership. Philippians 4:6. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto the Most High. Okay, so ultimately, you gotta pray. Okay, you gotta pray that the Lord will open your eyes and let your requests be made known. Okay, whatever your problems are, go to the Lord for it. Okay, take accountability and stop being the victim. Stop, blaming everything, all your circumstances on everything else. Stop complaining all the time. Stop, just stop. Be a winner. Stop being a loser, and get your mind together. Change your way of thinking, and think less about the circumstance and more about overcoming, more about solutions. Okay, how do I overcome the situation? And that's one thing that we have examples such as Job, Paul, Joseph. Joseph, he was persecuted by all his brothers, you know? But that's the whole integrity of it. That's the whole integrity of these men, is because they held fast. They had their loins girded. Okay? These are good examples of men. They could have easily complained, like, man, man, I'm catching hell, man. Stop complaining about catching hell. Just take it. You know? What's that precept? Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Let's get that, and I'll close on that. Let me see. Let me see. All right, this is Sirach 2 and 4. I knew that's why I wasn't in blue letter. Sirach 2 and 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Okay? For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Okay, yeah, so we have to take these things cheerfully, okay, because gold is tried in the fire. So if we're of the elect, okay, we're going to be tried. We're going to be placed in the furnace of adversity. Okay, we're going to go through things. All right, but that's a part of this walk. All right, don't be a loser. Don't be a victim. Be an overcomer. All right, so with that, Lord, when you were edified and exhorted, I want to give all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom.